Shalom, shalom, Israel. It's your brother Dagabar with a quick lesson, Lord willing, through the Spirit. The title of this lesson, Lord willing, is called "The Elect Has Been Planted." All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. Rakakwadash is the Holy Spirit, and I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who've been ruling well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High can continue to put on their spirit to endure. A mighty shalom to the hopeful elect scattered four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put on their spirit to endure. Shalom to the wives and the single sisters, those believers of His word. Lord willing, the Most High put on your spirit to pursue to be a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brother and sister that's not in the faith. Again, this lesson is called "The Elect Has Been Planted." Not like Kevin Hart, which is like a plant that you dig out the ground and you put it somewhere else. You know, the elect been planted starting as a seed and growing. I'm going to start this off with Isaiah chapter 5 verse 7. For the vineyard of Yahweh of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. You know, his pleasant justice. You know, because Judah is going to be the lawgiver. Judah is going to be the head out of all the 12 tribes in this time. You know, all just because of the alignment of Hamashiach Yahushai. You know, and it says, he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. I don't know if I wanted to, was the NLT saying something different? Oh yeah, I wanted to read the NLT too. It's Isaiah 5 and 7. In the NLT it says, the nation of Israel is the vineyard of Yahweh of heaven's army. The people of Judah are his pleasant garden. He expected a crop of justice, but instead he found oppression. He expected to find righteousness, but instead he heard cries of violence. The earth and the heavens are recording against all the nations, even including Israel. The other video I did yesterday, Judah has got twofold from the Most High, and now Esau has to get twofold. Lord willing. Let's flip over before I try to go get a different precept. I was ready, but let's stay on the topic at hand. This is Psalms, the 8th chapter. Psalms chapter 8. Why in the world? Psalms chapter 8, verse 8 to 11. Salaki, y'all. That is not what I want. Psalms 80, Salaki, y'all. Because Psalms 8 don't have a verse 11. So Psalms chapter 80. Verse 8 to 11, it reads, thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, if you double back into the book of Genesis and the book of Exodus, right? Thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt. Thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it, you know, because he destroyed the Egyptians. Thou preparest room before it. And what did he do? He cast out the Africans out of the land, right? Let me just read that again, clear it up. Thou hast brought a vine out of Egypt, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. Thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it, right? So the Lord cast out the nations in the land of Canaan, right? And planted Israel in that land. Now, when we go to Judges, the 3rd chapter, the Lord left a nation. He left certain nations behind, right? Just to approve Israel, because he knew that Israel was going to go back into their sins. I'm going to try to get it. This is Judges chapter 3, verse 1. Now these are the nations which Yahweh left to prove Israel by them, even as many as Israel as had not known all the words of Canaan. Right? So the Lord left a few of the Hamites in the land of Israel. And what did we just read in Psalms 80? Thou hast cast out the heathen and planted it. Thou preparest room before it and didst cause it to take deep root, and it filled the land. The hills were covered with the shadows of it, and the boughs thereof were like the goodly cedars. She sent out her boughs unto the sea and her branches into the river, right? And that even goes with Psalms 1, Israel was like a tree planted near a river. The Lord was with us before we got in the land and when we were in the land. Dropping down to verse 15, it says, in the vineyard which thy right hand hath planted, right? The vineyard which thy right hand hath planted, which will really be Hamashiach Yahushua that planted the elected in this land, right? In the branch that thou madest strong for thyself, right? We are a plant to the Lord, right? Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 10. And I'm going to read this in the KJV and in the NLT, right? This is Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 10. And this is what it reads. In the KJV, many pastors have destroyed my vineyard. They have trodden my portion underfoot. They have made my pleasant portion a desolate wilderness. Many pastors, many rulers, many leaders, and those pastors can go into priests, teachers, just how in the same of today, what we got going on today. Now, these other two-thirds, that's like pastors in churches, they're leading our people all the way in the ditch, let alone brothers that's somewhat calling the name of the Lord, maybe has some sense that they Israelites. They are the true false teachers outside of a Christian pastor, because they understand of the Israelites, they understand who Esau is, but they might be teaching the doctrine of Yahweh Shema Shai incorrectly. In the NLT, you say, many rulers have ravished my vineyard, trampling down the vines and turning all its beauty into a barren wilderness, right? And in past tense, this is what our forefathers was doing, especially the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the priests, and we had false prophets. And that's the same of today. That's why I was using the category of the pastors in the church and brothers that's in this so-called truth. It's brothers in some of these congregations that could be breaking down the scriptures wrong. They can be doing this thing for their own vainglory, right? They can be doing this for a money machine. They can do this for a popularity game, or this is all for a view and a like. This is all for entertainment, and this is a lot of brothers is building brothers with that same mentality to make this truth a business. Make this let's take away the word, or let's add on. Let's not give credit where credit is due. Well, you know what? This word is not inspired. The Lord planted Israel, but he really implanted the elect, right? All Israel was in that land. But if this story is still going, it's for the elect. And so outside of all the whole nation, which through time and time, the Lord was choosing an elect that was going to always come back and get it. Come back and get it. The Lord chose us. The ones that's waking up in this thing and being sincere, the Lord planted you. That's the point of this, right? Yes, old past tense, but we're talking about in the present. You know, every day when you wake up, you should be trying to put that soil on you, or get that water, or get that sun. You know, if you're really planted in this truth. This is why if we in this truth, we should never take days off, years off, weeks off, right? This is Isaiah 62 verse 5. For as a young man marrieth a virgin, so shall thy son marry thee. And as the bridegroom rejoiceth over the bride, so shall thy power rejoice over thee. You know, it's going to be the same thing. Yahushai is the groom, and Israel as a nation is a bride. When you go to Ezekiel, the 23rd chapter, you see that the southern and northern kingdom were sisters. They're wives to the Lord. And the Lord is going to make us one stick. You know? Going to make us one stick. We're planted. Right? Let's go to Psalms 149. And let's read verse 4. Psalms 149 verse 4. It says, for Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. You know, he's going to beautify the meek with salvation. When you go to St. Matthew chapter 5, verse 5, it says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. And that meek is going to either be humble, that meek is going to be wise, right? Let's go to Luke, the 18th chapter, and let's read verse 1 to 8. We're going to read this in the NLT. You could definitely go read this KJV. I just want this to smack plainly. This is going to go into the parable of the widow and the judge. Luke chapter 18, verse 1 in the NLT, it says, one day Yahushua told his disciples a story to show that they should always pray and never give up. See, that right there is a super key, especially if we're striving to be that elect. And if you are planted, you're praying as much as you can. Whatever, if it comes to your mind, even just calling Yahweh Shema Shai, please help me to call Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, but actually really giving that fervent prayer and never giving up, never throwing the towel. You could be beat up, eyes swole, never throw in the towel. Verse 2, it says, there was a judge in a certain city, he said, who neither feared the Most High nor cared about people. A widow of that city came to him repeatedly, saying, give me justice in this dispute with my enemy. The judge ignored her for a while, but finally he said to himself, I don't fear the Most High or care about people. But this woman is driving me crazy. I'm going to see where she gets justice, because she is wearing me out with her constant requests. Then the Lord said, learn a lesson from this unjust judge. Even he rendered a just decision in the end. So don't you think the Most High will surely give justice to his chosen people who cry out to him day and night? Will he keep putting them off? That's a question. No, he's not. That's why I said earlier, you know, Israel, we got double from the Lord. If you can follow the track record, verse 8, I tell you, he will grant justice to them quickly, sharply, speedily. But when the Son of Man returns, how many will he find on the earth who have faith? How many Yahushai is going to find on the earth that has faith? Right? Only a few. This is St. Matthew chapter 7, verse 13 and 14. It says, enter in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go thereat, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that findeth. How many he gonna find with faith? A few. Second Ezra 8:4. You know, he created many, but he's only gonna save a few. You know, and that few is gonna be getting understanding and devouring wisdom. Especially if that certain elect is not fully in this truth yet, the Lord is still building them up. But in the spirit, that man is going to get understanding and devour wisdom. The elect is planted, you know, can't do nothing about it. This is Romans, the 11th chapter, verse 7. It says, "What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded." So the elect already through the spirit obtain that salvation. You know, we just got to finish our course and endure this hardness, just like Hamashiach Yahushai. You know, you want to keep on grinding. This is amazing why the Lord don't put it on brothers' mind. Oh, I am the elect. Like, you definitely know that you are. The Lord didn't put that on us because a lot of us, especially, you know, Jake being in the flesh, oh, I'm the elect, you're not. When you go watch the movie 2012, where he said, that's why we're going to get on a big ship and you're going to die. You know, if the Lord was to give that information to Jake and he knew he was the elected son, or if he knew who he was back then, he'd be like, "Ooh, I was a king, you wasn't. You was my little servant." We will rub it in each other. That's how the Most High is amazing. He has order, and it's so beautiful. Even in this picture that y'all can see, you know, on the screen. You know, this is that time where 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Verse 15 to 18, we're gonna be caught up in the air with Hamashiach Yahushai. You know, the world don't, you know, believe in it, but you know, they call it a UFO, or unidentified aircraft, but this is the Lord's vehicle, the chariot, right? This is the Lord's chamber. And we're gonna be looking at, you know, the destruction that's gonna happen on earth. You know, and this is gonna be a beautiful sight to be. And make sure you booking your flight right now. You know, the elect, man, they're sure, man, but the rest were blinded. You know, I think this is Romans. No, that's not what I want. But I'll give you this one. This is in 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter. You know, because it said the rest were blinded. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3 and 4. It says, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost." So if they're lost, they might not be planted. Now we are, a lot of us that didn't know, I was lost too, but the Lord has to draw us to his son. If the Lord is not drawing us, and say if he was drawing you to his son, but you was ignoring it, you know, the Lord was putting you there, but you was ignoring it. It's because the left hand side was dealing with you. You might not really be called, you know. Verse 4, it says, "In whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them." This has to shine in you, right? When it shines in you, you desire it. You're amped up. You know, I'm just saying through the spirit, I'm no better. And I bet you a lot of brothers, after they get done with camp or doing videos, they still talking about the Lord. You know, and that might cause them to do another lesson, or it might bring up a lesson title or a precept. Every time me and my brothers go to camp, we done with camp, we about to go eat, and brothers bringing out scriptures again. Brothers is talking about other stuff that they seen in the week. Brothers come up with lessons while we out eating, while we out talking. You know, this ministry is going to always be a flow if the spirit is involved. You know, it's a flowing engine, right? But the God of this world blinded the minds. It didn't say blinded the flesh. They had to attract your mind. All of us, when we use our cell phone, me waking up, I was trying to call off for work. You know, I'm trying to call off for work so I can, do things, get my mind right, call Allah Yahweh Shem Shai. My phone wasn't working. It's mad people phone wasn't working. But people don't know we're ushering in to Yahweh Shai coming in. So it's a lot of things going on. A lot of people talk about it's a cyber attack. They had a cyber attack, I think, in this week that's right now, a cyber attack on freaking pharmacies. You know, it's a big change is about to happen, and we have to be ready spiritually for that. That's why when you hear prophecies, it puts something in you to get ready. And just for this title, very simple and easy, the elect has been planted. And the whole point is to strive until we get the hell up out of here. I'm going to bring this out. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. And I'm going to start at 15. It says, "For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of Yahweh Shem Shai shall not prevent them which are asleep." Right? The ones that died in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, "For Yahweh Shem Shai himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first." So the ones that died in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, especially Revelations 20 and 4, right? Or other things that brothers, it could be a sickness, but they were, they died in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. They held this truth, this ministry of the Most High on their back. It was on their mind. But you have other ways where brothers is going to stand up in great boldness for the word of Yahweh Shem Shai. So the dead is whoever probably died while the earth was still moving for the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. They're going to be risen first. They're going to rise first with Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Where we at? Verse 17. "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet Yahweh Shem Shai in the air. So shall we ever be with Yahweh Shem Shai." Right? And this right here is motivation. This is what we're striving. We're striving to want that. If you're not striving to want that, you out your rabbit mind, right? Because anything that we can see is temporal, right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, starting at 51. It says, "Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep." So everybody's not going to taste death, but we shall all be changed. So we all not going to taste death. So some is going to die for the name of the Lord, and some is going to be going through that trial of sorrow and pain throughout Jacob's trouble through this whole end. But we're all as a unit going to be changed in a moment, in a twinkle of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall rise incorruptible, and we shall be changed. And that's amazing. So even the ones that died in the name of the Lord, you don't stress about it now. Work on it now, because sometimes we can lose a loved one. We like, I don't want to serve the Lord, and you don't have that same fire because you lost somebody. And imagine being in this truth and you lose your child or your wife or your husband in this thing. You want to keep on going, because we know that the flesh goes back in the earth and the spirit goes back to the Most High. But if we see it in the scriptures that the ones that die in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai is going to raise first, we don't hold on that burden. Let it go, because now they're going to be even more at peace. And you're going to see them again if you stay on the course. Right? Salaki. Twinkle of an eye, okay, raise incorruptible. Verse 53, "For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality." Let's see it in the NLT. "For our dying bodies must be transformed into bodies that will never die. Our immortal bodies must be transformed into immortal bodies. The elect has been planted. And brothers that's in these congregations, especially Great Millstone, they always talking about it, man. We stress in this flesh. Every day, most likely, you waking up stressing. Gotta work. Shoot, some of us gotta drink coffee just to get that energy. Back hurting, but we gotta make ends meet. Women gotta do the things that they gotta do just to provide for their household. We tired. And you should be striving to get that incorruptible. And if you're not striving for it, get the hell out the way. Verse 54, it says, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory, man. O death, where is thy sting, O grave? Where is thy victory? All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Verse 56, the sting of death is sin. In the strength of sin is the law. We need this, man. That's why you want to strive. You want to strive for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You want to strive for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You should be saying that to yourself. You want to strive for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 10. It says, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Come on, man. You wake and you walking in his truth, you teaching his word, believing in his word, or you sleep. You died for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Or you died of natural causes, but you believed in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We should live with the Lord, man. You should be putting more pep in your step if you trying to live with the Lord, man. This is not no fun and games. The elect has been planted. You should be seeing, are you planted? Daniel chapter 7, verse 13, and I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, chariots, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him, right? We not going to be brought to the Ancient of Days. We're going to be right in front of the Alpha and Omega, who is Hamashiach Yahushai, and we're going to be on the firmament, man, looking down at the destruction. All praises. We're going to be in the presence of all our foreign fathers, the brothers and sisters that were serious for Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and the angels. Man, that's going to be like a sight to see. Just like when our brothers in Acts, the 1st chapter, verse 9, I bet you this is why brothers go outside and they looking up to see a chariot. This is Acts chapter 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him, a chariot received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel. They looking like, dang, that I bet you that was a sight to see. And when Yahushua come back, it's going to be even more of a great sight to see. To see your Lord coming back. That's like beyond a Michael Jackson where people was faint. He'll wave to him and they'll just faint. Yahushua, man, you gonna drop to your knees. You're gonna be crying, especially the elect is what they say in Sister Ike, joyful, oh, we adore you. I'm not a singer, so I'm sorry, but you know what I'm talking about. This is Revelations 11 and 12, and it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Right? What did it say in the NLT? It says, and they rose to heaven in a cloud as their enemies watched. Their enemies watched. Yo, they watched us get beamed up, man. Yo, the Lord he got it in the, this how you know it already happened. It's in the script, man. It already happened. But I'm gonna show you something. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. It says, Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. They shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they looked for. Right? And what did it say in Revelation? It said when we rose up, to heaven in the clouds, our enemies watched. Wisdom of Solomon, they were amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, which is Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. The elect has been planted, and they're going to have amazing and strange salvation that money can't even buy. But you got to lay yourself down for this. Man, I love y'all to the moon and ever back. Salaki for, me getting excited and probably stuttering and fumbling up my words. But Lord willing, it was still edifying, and you was able to listen to each point. If not, just rewind it. But don't take my word for it. Go rewrite those precepts. If you can't hear it, I'll re-say it. Isaiah 5 and 7, Psalms 80, verse 8 to 11, drop down to verse 15, Jeremiah 12 and 10 in the KJV and the NLT, Isaiah 62, verse 5, Psalms 149, verse 4, and Luke, the 18th chapter, verse 1 to 8 in the NLT, and Romans 11 to 7. The other precepts, it was just flowing. I can't remember all of them, but 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter, to 17 in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, verse 51, all the way down. And Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, verse 1 and 2. But other than that, man, Lord willing, it was edifying. And with that, I'm going to say shalom, shalom.